And thank you very much, Father Subba, for letting me speak today. As Father said, my name's Abigail, and this Family Fast Day, I'm here from CAFOD, which is the official overseas charity of the Catholic Church here in England and Wales. Today's Gospel reading is one of the dramatic ones. In fact, all the readings are dramatic today. And I am here to speak about a worldly drama, that of the climate crisis. St. James, in our second reading, speaks really vividly of the labourers and the reapers. He paints the picture of our wealth, our lifestyle, being built on the efforts and the tears of those who are poor and without power in the world, and by those who are ignored by those of us with the wealth and the power in the world. St. James makes that connection between us, the wealthy, and then the poor, very clear. Pope Francis connects us all by saying we are a single family living in a common home, the planet Earth. That common home is being destroyed by the climate crisis. And it's a crisis that will affect each and every one of us. It's a crisis that's damaging our world, our common home, God's creation. And the coronavirus pandemic is still pushing millions of people around the world into poverty and is deepening that inequality that St. James mentions. It's the poorest and most vulnerable people in the world who are the ones being hit hardest by climate change. Harvests are failing, cities are flooding, entire communities are finding it harder and harder to survive in the place that they call home. But in the face of all of this, all around the world, ordinary people like you and me are giving their all to protect our planet, our common home, God's creation. The Gospel reading is a challenging one today as well, isn't it? It's one of those Gospel readings that makes me stop in my tracks. Partly, if I'm to be honest, because I'm really shocked by the goriness of it. I'm a bit squeamish. So the idea of cutting off my hands or my feet or taking out my own eye is so shocking to even think about, much less contemplate doing. But perhaps what that gospel is teaching me is that there may be times for all of us when we might face difficult choices, painful decisions, and discomfort in order to do what is right in our daily lives. Maybe what it is saying is that we are very attached to our comforts, our luxuries. Maybe as much attached as we are to our hands, our feet, and our eyes. I know I am very addicted to my phone. It's rarely far away from me. I relish a good cup of coffee. I seem to always know when the next one is on its way. But they are definitely luxuries. And that gospel challenges me to focus not so much on what makes me happy and contented, but rather on what is the right thing to do. Not for me, Abigail, but for the whole of God's creation. Like this lady, Evanilja, does. Evanilja's on our fast day envelope and poster. She's a mother, she's a grandmother, and she's a farmer. She lives in a tiny patch of rainforest in one of the most threatened regions of the Brazilian Amazon. And more than once, Evanilja's home has been ravaged by fires started on land owned by wealthy cattle ranchers. Fires which destroy the trees and crops which her family rely on to survive. She's faced obstacles that could shake the spirits of the very bravest, but she has never given up. With the help of local experts from our church network, she's replanted and restored her land. She is now one of those ordinary people protecting our common home. By protecting that fragile piece of the Amazon she calls home, she's protecting the planet for all of us. And even Ilja is not alone. All over the world, people are doing their bit to fight the worst effects of climate change. At CAFOD, we work in Ethiopia with water experts who are helping to build solar-powered pumps to help communities struggling with drought. In Bangladesh, local climate experts are helping people protect their farms from ever more devastating cyclones. Even if it is hard, like the choices in the gospel today, we are called to play our part to protect the earth and to support others, like even Ilja, throughout the world as they take action as guardians of creation. But we don't have to do any of this alone. And by working together, we can bring about true hope for the future, both of the earth and of generations to come. As you know, working together even, takes a bit of organisation. And I'd really love to work with some of you to have a group of CAFOD volunteers here in the parish so that we can change the world together. Please have a think about whether you'd like to join the CAFOD team and come and speak to me at the end of Mass. Next Friday is Family Fast Day. I have to admit, it never feels comfortable to me to eat a bit less. But by doing so next Friday and giving what we save, we'll be helping the people who have done the least to cause the climate crisis, but have been hardest hit by its devastating effects. Please donate whatever you can, either online or using one of the envelopes which are at the back of church. You can also help by joining us in asking the Prime Minister to show leadership in tackling the climate crisis. We have a petition on the CAFOD website, which we're asking as many people as possible to sign before the COP26 climate talks in November. Thank you for your generosity. You are one of the most lively, welcoming and generous parishes in the diocese. Thank you. Through people like even Ilja's resolute commitment to our common home, we can find hope. And through our gifts, our solidarity, and most importantly, our prayer, our hope will be strengthened. Please come and chat after Mass. I can tell you more about our work on climate change or chat to you about joining the volunteer group. May the Holy Spirit guide us, strengthen our resolve, and renew the face of the earth.